Good morning, Metaverse. I'm Thor with the OCG and Mafia guilds, and today I'm going to talk about Pegaxy and if it's going to continue to fall down or if they have the ability to turn it around. So let's dive into some analytics and some updates that they've done and see what they can do. With that in mind, this is not financial advice. It is purely for educational and entertainment purposes, so I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. All right, first I jump over to Pegaxy Apollo. I want to look at some basic analytics that are going to tell what's happening over the last month and why the price action is behaving the way it is. And so we come over here, and the big item that I look at first is the mint versus burn. And right now it's at 76%, which that percent has decreased over the last month or so. It was closer to 80% earlier in the month, and that is a range that we want to try to get to, so it's actually going in the wrong direction overall. Now, we had some good burn going on for leading up to the breed events that were around the 10th or so. The 14th of April is when they changed the Viz reward rates, and so there was some abnormal activity here, and then we started to have some good burn days where you're burning more Viz than minting and creating supply. But then this has kind of turned around and the mint amount has increased. And so that's the opposite of what we want to see happening. Now, we won't be able to see the true effect that the change in Viz rewards has had on the market because it doesn't happen right away. We have a 15-day cycle, and so that effect is actually delayed quite a bit. And so after 2 or 3 cycles, we should, if we've reduced the Viz reward amount enough, reduce the supply versus the demand to get the price to go upwards. You do a basic supply and demand chart. If we've reduced the rewards and the supply by enough, then this burn rate should start to increase in comparison to how much is being minted. As long as the demand for burning the Viz, for fusing, for breeding has maintained or increased in that time period. Now, we'll have to check back in a couple weeks to really see what's happening on that front, but that is the purpose of reducing the Viz rewards, and if it doesn't have that effect, the next step is to reduce the rewards more, which is not what I want to see because then my Pegas are earning less Viz, but it is important to get the health of the currency back under control. So it doesn't look good right now, but I want to see some other things that Pegaxy is doing that is going to increase the value coming into the ecosystem, that's going to improve that ecosystem. That's one thing that they have consistently done, is continue to develop and improve what they offer in Pegaxy. And so the addition of the mobile app is huge. I think that opens up a big part of the market, a large number of people that can effectively participate in the ecosystem and broaden the base and bring more people in. That is needed to get this ecosystem running smooth again. And so to see that, and I'll look forward to see the progress of that, and if they do a good job and make that app fluid and entertaining, then I think Pegaxy long term is developing and moving down their roadmap very consistently, and that's great to see from a development side. And then the most recent update or post announcement was just earlier today, and that was in regards to the guild and the guild ranks. There's some pretty interesting Pega points that they're going to be setting up for the different levels of guilds. They're going to make this difficult for guilds to progress, and then they also put a liquidity pool requirements. And so this is requiring the guilds, the big groups of people that are working very, very diligently to run these Pegas, and they're requiring them to lock Viz into the liquidity pool, which locked value in a protocol is great for stabilizing that protocol and is extremely important if they want to bring Pegaxy to the exchanges. If they want to bring Viz or even PGX to an exchange, they're going to have to show stability in the ecosystem. And so this is a big first step. And I think in the discussions I've talked with a lot of people in our guild and with a few other guilds on the Discord, then this idea, this concept of requiring guilds to lock liquidity, I think is a good one. We will see how that ends up and what the results are, but that is a positive in the direction of the overall health of Pegaxy. So have they turned it around yet? No, it is still falling. There still needs to be changes. We'll need to see how these changes are implemented and give it a little bit of time to actually act on the ecosystem. But there are several items, the burn mechanisms, the guild rank, and the mobile app addition and continued development that I think are pushing towards a turnaround for Pegaxy as a whole. So I'm hopeful. I will be watching it carefully and watching that price action in the next month or so. So I hope that was helpful. Don't worry about liking or subscribing. Screw the algorithm. But if you think this is useful and somebody else could use it, please share it with them. If you can do that, then today was a good day. And good morning, Metaverse.